What's up, my guys? Just checking my charts to make sure everything's lined up okay. I can put that whole thing. I mean, it don't matter. Hell. So pretty much just long from the same spot we were long last night, except you know, different area. This is just a straight kind of mechanical trade. Looking for 25 points. Just give me a minute, guys. Trying to get the rest of my stuff set up. I will try to add to this if for some reason we push back down and test those 900s. All right, let me make sure my volume is working. So, hopefully everybody had an okay trading day. Mine was kind of like a what? 2 green counts with 1 red account. So, wasn't bad, but it wasn't like super great. Just want to check the volume, make sure volume's working. Yep, volume's working. Alrighty. So this is the same area that we, like I said, if we push back down to those 900s, we will probably add into the 900s here. We're only in this for one contract at the moment. So let's see what happens at the 900 here. Because we haven't had a 900 retest yet. So may try to add here. Then if the 900 fails, we'll add at the 75. Then if it doesn't bounce there, that'll be kind of like our line in the sand. Was looking for almost like 25 points on that. Just going to front run it by 1 point. So buy. May not get down there. Our buy is at the 912. Pretty much the same spot off the same area that we've gotten long for the last 2 nights. Do I incorporate GEX? I'm not sure if I know what GEX levels are, or maybe I don't know what that abbreviation is. I'm not saying I may know, but I'm not sure what the GEX. No, I don't know if I've ever heard of that. All right, since we're pretty much pushing away from the 900s, we're just going to take this trade off. We don't want to leave it sitting there and forget about it. No, all this 912 is the PM session high from this evening. I'm thinking that we possibly could run back up to the AM high this evening. Since we already kind of had the big push down during the PM session, that I wasn't sure if we kind of moved back to the top here. I mean, if we do, it's just going to be a slow grind. I mean, it's just one of those things with the Tokyo kind of Asia market. It's just so grindy that you could be sitting here for a couple hours and only move like 20 points. Is anybody trading gold and silver? Gold and silver seems like they've been insane lately, guys. No, I've never done anything like that, DB. Woo, I don't know what crazy is. Holy goodness. We've been stuck in a super tight range this evening. We've only got what? Let's see. We clipped what, the 80s earlier at the lowest at is that I want to say that might be the lowest, or what, 30-point range at the moment? We just trade evals at this time today, Jay. We got 2 evals that we've been trading for the last month in this time of the night. We've been doing fairly good at it. I mean, shoot, let me get my counts out. So, like this account, we've pretty much made all this with this eval. It's an eval at the moment because I've been practicing trading the Tokyo session. I think we're up $1,100 in the Tokyo market over the month. Most of the time we're like looking for $50. Every now and then we'll get lucky enough with some good time, and we'll get like a nice couple $100. We've gotten actually nice. I want to say the last 2 nights we've made at least $100. Sunday's always the best. Man, if I could wake my butt up to do the London, I would, but I would have to get up at 1:30 in the morning my time. And that would be rough. Whew. If I could get on here and just kind of sleep in front of the charts and somebody can like nudge me, he's like, hey, a setup's happening, get up. As long as we stay above the 912, I'm going to be long bias all the way. I would only like shorts if we lose the 912. Sorry, I keep yawning. The 912 is above, like I said, above the PM high from earlier today. That's that ICT kill zone type area that we trade quite a bit in the evenings. I mean, I've heard of the ICT or Inner Circle Trader. And I've used his stuff here and there, but nothing to trade off. I think the only thing I've really ever traded as far as ICT stuff goes is probably failed fair value gaps, and that's been a while. And there's some setups I may do. There's a guy in my lobby in the daytime. He trades ICT, and he'll put his call outs in the lobby, and sometimes I'll take it with him. I don't quite take him in the same spot where he's taking it because he's doing resting orders. A lot of times I will do like a, resting order. It wouldn't always be exact. Mm. Yeah, I want to say our last trade before lunch, we had a decent trade this evening. This morning was kind of rough just because it was so chopping around this morning. So that's where I was 1-1 on the funded. So we were red on one funded and green on the other. Then, just like clockwork, you'd like what is it? Destroy the eval, but that's the way it usually goes. Because I think we did $500 on the eval this evening, but I was being aggressive with that, and I usually let everybody know if I'm being aggressive because I have to pass it by the end of the month. I usually only do one or two micros in the Asia market. That way, if I take a loss, most of the time it's like $50 to $70 max. I try not to dig myself a big hole because it's hard to get out of a hole in the Asia market. So, unfortunately, guys, we could be sitting like this for another hour. It's crazy. This is the same consolidation zone that we spent 2 days in last week. If you kind of look to the left, I think I actually had that marked out one day. Was that Friday or Thursday? Let me see if I can figure out what days that was. I feel like it was 907 too. Yeah, is this one of them here? I think so. Then this spot here has been super choppy. I need to look and see where the ES is at. Let me look and see where the ES is at. Maybe the ES is stuck around that 7,000 range. Uh, just trying to see where the ES is at, guys. Give me a minute. Yep. So the ES stuck there around the 7,000s? Yep. So this was kind of like the buy area for Adam Manzini today, that 98. So if we lose that 98, we could dump. Then I want to say 93 was kind of the next support down that because we were trading off these levels this morning. We were trading off the ES levels this morning. Yeah, the ES looked so much more cleaner this morning and their levels were holding. So I was actually taking my trades off of the ES this morning. All right, we're at the 900. Let's see if we get a little bounce here at the 900s. A lot of consolidation here in the 90s. I was kind of expecting a little bounce here at the 900s. This trade over here, we're just in for one micro. Come on, a little bit more. Sorry. Was paying attention to my other account. We're trading on like two different pages. All right. Like I said, we were trading on two different pages here. Let me pull fib on this and just see if it's just looking for like a little 50% pullback here. So kind of sold back into discount here. So hopefully this will be the pullback for us to move higher. We're only in this for one contract, so I mean, there's definitely a possibility here that we can add if we break back above the 12 here. Whoa, what happened? What? Well, that makes no sense. We got about 2 minutes left on this candle. If we can if the next candle can print right above 12, maybe we can try to add one more contract to this instead of just having one contract. And this is just a straight mechanical trade, guys. Oh, that's the ES. I'm like, why is that ES? Why are my numbers different? So this is the area that we're looking to break right here. So we've kind of hovered around it, just been kind of just bumping. If we can push up maybe one more time, find some resistance above this this PM high, and that's kind of what we've been trading. All right, got 2 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. All right, see if we get one more push up here. Kind of have like a little 5-minute trend line build up right there. I was looking for my chat. Sorry. What was that, Judge? This is RUAs. What's up, Methodical? Yeah, we're still long. We're long from 15. So hopefully we get a nice little push up here. All right, one more. All right, nice. Yeah, for anybody that's new to trading in Asia, man, this is one of the downsides of trading Asia. It definitely tests your patience. We're looking for level 40 up there. We're looking for 25 points. So just to see if we can just make 50 bucks on this account. How was everybody's trading today? Did everybody have an okay trading day, or was it pretty tough? I struggled a little bit this morning for anybody that was in my P or AM session. So I feel like I was on the struggle bus. We were chopping pretty hard this morning. I'm sorry, Alan. I missed your message. Yeah, my long level was the 912. That one area that we always kind of point out, we've taken this same setup for the last 3 nights in a row. I've yet to see this trade fail. So I almost wish I could add a second contract and set one up at the high. I mean, you might have to walk away and just leave it later on, but just leave it on all night up into the London session. But maybe if I could get a print above 38 on these one. Where's my? Let me find my one charts here. Uh, it doesn't really help me. All right, so far we just kind of keep getting stuck here around the whole number of the 25. Because that's like what? Since we've started tonight, what, 6 o'clock? This is already what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 6 times that we've been pounding this number here. No, DB, I'm in Central Time, so sometimes I will say the wrong time zone by accident. And that's only because I'm sitting here looking at the clock on the computer and it's just not thinking about it, and I'll just say the wrong time. So my time is 7:30 where I'm at. So a lot of times this trade's already happening before I usually start streaming. Uh, let's see. I don't know if you were here a while ago. Like I said, it's a mechanical trade. There is no. Let's see here. I mean, it's like I said, it's just straight mechanical. There is no. I mean, really, only thing you're doing is just kind of waiting for us to find support above the ICT kill zone here, and that's all it is. So basically, you just go to Trading View, put on ICT kill zones, and usually whenever the Asia market breaks out of the PM sessions high, a lot of times just put you a long on. The last two nights, it's bang for big points. This is the last night's trade here. It took a little bit. Usually you only get about one or two, but for some reason, kind of worry me. I don't ever see 3 nights in a row that we get this set up. So this was Sunday nights here. So Sunday nights bang really good too. Look at the Sunday nights trade. Man, it was crazy. So we didn't get anything like Friday. We also got one last Wednesday. See, a lot of times, like I said, whenever we break this PM trade or PM low, we don't come back until either the London session. Looks like the London session retested it. Yeah, so here we pretty much stayed in that area. Same with this session. Like I said, most of the time you only get it maybe twice a week. This is very rare for this to happen 3 times in a row, so it kind of worries me a little bit. So we'll just take it for whatever happens. We've made we've got some pretty good trades. Like I said, we made almost $300 on our eval off these 2 trades the last couple nights. So if we get stopped out, not too bad. 2 out of 3. And we're looking for 25 points. I feel like if we can break through these 2 levels here, I don't think there's anything holding us up here. Or I guess this is a big order block right here. I guess if you were kind of looking at it on the 5 minutes. So big order block here. Big down candle. Big kind of candle in the middle with another big green candle or a red candle to the downside. Let's see here. Thank you guys for the likes and follows tonight. Like I said, if you are joining us on this trade, this is a strictly mechanical trade. I almost wish I would have added on this last pullback, and this way we could have like took profit out of it. Yeah, I kind of work in the middle of the day. So a lot of times I trade and stream in the morning, go to work for a little while, then come back at nighttime. Ooh, my legs. Yeah, I know what you mean. When I first started doing this, I was working during the daytime too, and I only had like one day off a week that I would trade, and that was usually on Mondays. I did that for about 6 months. If you if you start practicing the Asia market, I mean, it doesn't really offer opportunities every night to trade unless you're just looking for little small 10-point winners. Every maybe twice a week. Sunday nights is the pretty much the best night to trade in the Asia market. Man, I guess it's just not going to get through this 25, is it? Ooh, that's looking pretty strong there, guys. So it looks like we could get stopped out here. This will be the first time that this trade's lost for me. If it loses here. Now we could anticipate kind of go heavy in like at the 75 or the 50 if you're willing to risk that, because I'm only at one micro. So all we would have to do is just add a few more contracts to bring down the average and see if we can get the bounce back up. Because a lot of times what will happen is we'll hit the 75, bounce back up to the uh, the whole number. So if we take a loss here, we'll just switch to our other account and see if we can find an entry on it. We did push back into discount on this leg, so I'm kind of hoping that this is the that pushes back up here. Yeah, I know what's holding us up. What is it? Let me see. It looks like we're about to get stopped out here. So we can play this two ways. We're in one micro. We can try to add back into this. since we're in so light. And we have about, what do you want to say, what, $1,500 in drawdown. So we got a lot of drawdown. It's just in discount the leg, not the overall move. But it's no longer valid because it already broke out the bottom. Oh, the ES is losing a 98. That's not a good sign. No, I think if you're going to really do the discount play, you would almost want to do it on the larger of the candle. So, like the larger of the move and not necessarily the legs. Sometimes I'll pull it on individual legs and just see if that area is going to hold. So, technically, if you pull that whole leg from this morning, this is the 50% move back up. So I think this was the trade from, no, I guess that was lunchtime. So I think this was the early morning trade here. But this would have been your lunchtime leg. So didn't quite make a higher high. So this would have been a lower high. But this would have been a new low. Close by a wick. Then as you can see, we pull back into like the 50% of the leg. Didn't quite get into the 60 and 70%. This is why I was kind of looking for longs. I thought maybe that area would give it up and we'd push up to the 40s and possible even the 70s before we started pulling back. There's not really a lot to do here when it's just trying to chop in sideways. Everyone was making. I was 1 for 1 on my fundeds today. We were green on one funded and red in the other. And eval, of course, you're green on the eval because it seems like nothing ever goes wrong with your eval. And that's usually what happens with myself. So I just feel like if the ES cannot reclaim those 98s, we're probably going to end up moving down. What it would probably going to push down to the 93, 94 area. That was kind of the target this morning, the 93, 93, 94. Everyone's making money in the morning. Shoot, the mornings will rip your face off sometimes, especially if you're over leveraged. I know it's done my fair share. I don't feel like we're going to have any chance moving up because this morning we took trades off that 98. Man, I don't think we ever stop learning when it comes to trading. It just seems like you're constantly learning and picking up new things along the way. The Asia market, I really haven't found something that I really like to like. Besides this one trade that's failing now, this is the only thing that I take that usually happens for most part. But but realistically, I don't really have much of a setup in this Tokyo session. It's all just level base. Like we're just trading support and resistance. So right now we're what $30 negative with one micro. So I have to trade super small with this account. So this is a 25K static account. So I start off with $500. This is what we started off in this. So we've constantly just been just grinding it, and I got to make it to 26,500. Right now we're at 26,127. So depending on what happens with this trade, we'll probably still have to make roughly 500 bucks if it's a loser. But like I said, I've taken this trade already twice this week, and it's banged for over 100 points. This was the same trade setup that I was in last night. If you were over in my stream, it was the same exact trade. It's just different levels. How long have you been trading, Jack or JK? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. If your name is Jack, what that you're just missing the C, or do some people spell it JAK? I don't know. I don't think I've ever thought about that. Or is it short for Jacob? Pretty good size wick here. Kind of curious what's going to happen at the 90 level here. So what do we? Let's see what we're in the hole. See what we would need to take to get us back out here. So $40. So right now that has us $50 in the hole. We just hit a key level. Man, we do not need to lose. We need to really have this nice bounce here at the 94, 93s on the ES. Now, if the ES loses the 93, it could be downtown from here. We got a big wick sitting at 85, so we could get a nice big wick. And we also got a lot of consolidation in this area too for a nice bounce. The ES is bouncing off the 93. This is kind of where you need to hold. If the ES loses at 93, it's definitely downtown all the way. That was one of the a nice support resistance for the ES this morning. Yeah, if we lose that 93, it's definitely going down. Because we lost it this morning briefly before we broke back above it. I'm trying to get and see if I get that 75 bounce is what we're looking for. Since we're just in one micro. I was hoping we get a 900 bounce here. The ES is still hovering around that 93. As long as the 93 holds. Well, we were long for a while. We're trying to DCA back into the trade. Right now, we're just in it with 2 micros. We got a lot of wicks right here in the 60s, so I feel like we could add down in here and possibly get a nice bounce. Kind of bring down our average. Right now, our average is sitting at 94. If we get the push back up to the 900s, it'll just take us out of the trade. I was looking for an entry for the inversion after the sweep. So as long as the 93 holds, I think we're good. I just don't know if we're going to get through all this garbage right here. It's a lot of wicks. Oh, that's where I take that back. My average. I think if we're patient, we could probably get back into this. We just got to be patient. I'd imagine the next level down is going to be probably down into like all this wick here, or even a 50 drop. That's not good about the ES. The ES just got below that 93. Right now we're down $50, 52, $58. I'm more than positive we're going to have to probably DCA back into this trade. What's up there, X? How are you doing? I don't know if I saw your message a while ago. Oh no, Dart, we won't do that. We have $1,500 in drawdown. No, we won't ever do that. This is just a 2 micro trade at the moment. So we're not in very heavy. I've been working on this count for about a month now in the strictly only in Tokyo session. Just looking for anywhere between $50 to $100 trades, and also I try to keep my losses somewhere between 50 and $100 max. So if we take a loss, just walk away, switch account, so you don't have to look at it, so you don't end up trying to get it back. That is the key, to walk away from your accounts if you do take like a loss. No, see, with these accounts, I start off with like they're $500 static accounts, which is not a lot when it comes to trading. And so you pretty much almost have to trade what's just a few micros, because if you try to trade a mini or even getting kind of heavy like that, it'll wreck this account pretty fast. But since I have a static account, that $500 don't move, and plus I'm up $1,000 in this account, so it's like I have $1,500 of drawdown at the moment. We got a lot of wicks to the downside right here, so I'm hoping that get some bounces off these wicks. But we also have this big gap filling all the way down at the 50s, so we could just dump here, especially if the ES cannot reclaim that 93. Yeah, the ES is slipping farther away. So more than likely, what could possibly happen is here is you get this big move down, and you just trade basically sideways, and so really there is no chance of probably moving back up higher. So the only way to really do this trade is to try to DCA back into it, or either get out with a break even trade much as possible if it pushes back up here to retest the whole number. At this point, I'll be happy just with the break even trade, just to kind of get out of this trade. If the ES can reclaim the 93s, I feel like we get a strong push here. Come on, ES. Is there anybody else in here in position? Is someone short? You're short. Nice. Where's your interest entry? Was gas? Oh, 3 micros. Nice on the 3 micros. Like I said, this is probably be the very first time that this entry failed me. The At the PM. If we can get one more little 99 900 tests, it should get me out of the trade. But the only thing we could do now is to wait for it to push down into the 60s or 70s and try to add into it. Because a lot of times if you hit the 50s, you'll push back up to the 75s. Right now we're just what, $60 negative. So this is the account right now. And we still have about 64 more bucks to kind of keep it above the 26,000. Thanks for the follow, Justin. Or Just. Let me check the ES real quick. Oh, this shit. This was kind of a short area for me today because we shorted around the ES today at that 93 level, or we even took the long, and there's nothing holding the ES to kind of just dump here. It could easily sell down 5 or 10 points all the way down to the 88. So we'll give it a few more minutes to see if it can pop back up. If not, we'll just close the trade and take our loss. I think 75 will probably be my line in the sand here because we still did not get that 75 bounce. And there's a big wick at 75. There's big wicks at 72. So gas, what's your entry? Yeah, it went up to that 925. I was looking for 25 points. And that was only because I was in so small. You DC8 at 09. All right, here comes the 75 here. Oh, nice. You only need another 30 bucks to pass. What size account is that, Gas? Is that just a 25K? All right, it puts us in 3 contracts. Yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to. Oh, you don't do the copy trade? I don't trade with funded ticks, though. Sorry if I've been missing your messages. Right now, we're just trying to get out of a short, long that we were in earlier. So we're just trying to DCA back out of it. We can just get one more little 90 touch here. I'll be just out of this trade completely. Then we can regroup. Okay. Nice. Woo. All right. Now we can kind of regroup, kind of look for another entry here. So we were able to survive that without really any major damage. The fees is kind of what got us. So right now we're going to end that trade with 12 bucks. So even though it was a bad trade, we're able to work ourselves out of it, being patient. Or negative 12 bucks, guys. Negative 12 bucks. Whew. And that's just pretty much playing the whole numbers, because a lot of times if you lose the 100, you'll go down to 75, then you'll bounce back up into the 90s or like back up to whatever whole number you're at. And a lot of times if you blow through the 75 and you blow through the 50, you'll go down to the 25 and literally retrace all the way back up. All right. So now let's see if we can find us another entry tonight, guys. A chemistry teacher? No. The closest I ever been to a teacher is I did some substituting probably when my daughter was in seventh grade or eighth grade. And man, that's been like, God, that's been what? She would have been 13, 14. That's been like 7 years ago. All right, guys. Glad we survived that. Wasn't sure. But that's the good thing about the Asia market is it always retraces for most part. So if you kind of get yourself, unless you're over leveraged, if you over leverage, it's a little tougher. But see, I wasn't over leveraged. I entered that trade with one micro. We got down into the 90s or 80s. I added one more time. That brought my average down to the whole number at 900. Then we hit that 75 level. I just had a resting order sit there. Then it brought my average down to 90. And then we're able to get out of the position. It sucks that we have to sit here and hold a trade for 2 hours and basically walk away with negative $12. But it's better than walking away with like, that, $60 loss or whatever loss that you could accumulate. Uh, Gas, are you still holding your short? Unfortunately. Well, you said you were short from 010. I feel like that's still a good short. We could just do a little 21 EMA retest here. So, might offer. I'm thinking about maybe doing a little short off the whole number up there. I was going to wait and see what kind of reaction we get off that 900. Thinking about adding. We may jump in with one micro and add to it if we start losing the 90. So I'm thinking that's what I'll do. That way, if it does go against me, and we'll just shut it off if it hits the 10. Oh, oh excuse me. All right, let's see here. Uh oh. So that would be 50% of that leg. So that would be kind of where you need to hold up at if this is going to continue down. Ooh. And that was also your 21 bounce, that blue line that's on my screen. Come on. Got to be careful going to break even too fast. No, did that thing just wick me? Come on, that's dirty. If that comes back up there and stops me out, we will re-enter this short. I tried to have that at the 88, and it literally hit the 78. So it literally hit 10 points from my entry. We missed our first take profit by like a quarter point. All right, so it may stop us out. Like I said, we will re-enter if it stops us out. I'm just trying to make it where you can see it well. Just kind of zooming in on it here. Oh, it went up there and tickled it a little bit. Oh goodness, that's insane. I don't think it'll survive a second push. First push, yeah, but second push, no. Yeah, if it pushes through my entry level there, I'm just going to add back into it. Let's see. Sell. Ooh, the ES is back at that one key level, guys. I'm hoping that's just a retest. You really don't want to see the ES reclaim that 93 because, man, that thing could just rocket ship back to the top side and retest those 98s. I'm hoping this is just a retest area for us to push back down. I guess whenever you got this many wicks to the left of us, I mean, this is pretty normal. Man, we just printed above that 93 level. Man, this thing could make a decent pushback up here too. So the ES, if it reclaims at 93, that's a support for it, and it could push back up to the 98s. And 6 points on the ES or 6 points compared to the Nasdaq. I mean, that's quite a few points. Oh yeah, I would stay short too. I mean, if your entry's at 910, as long as it don't get above that 900, man, there's no way I'd take my position off. So, and plus, as long as your little 21 EMA holds there. Man, I thought we were about to get a little redemption. Quick in and out trade, quick 10 points. It missed our entry by a quarter point. That is insane to miss our entry by a quarter point. The idea would actually be, since the ES reclaimed at 93, you would think that I'd go back to looking for longs. I don't know if we're going to have. I just don't want to get wicked in, then it just continues higher here. We got a little gap here on the 5 minute on the ES. Maybe it'll just push up to the 95s to kind of clear up that gap, then continue back down. This will be kind of like a fake breakout, then retest to sell back down. Sorry about all the noise. Oh, you devil, yes. That might have been a fake breakdown. I'm going to set these contracts out of the way just in case. I don't want to get wicked in and that thing continues higher. Kind of need to wait and see what's going to happen with the 21 EMA or even the whole number here. Oh, goodness. Gas, do you trade the ES? I'm not ES, but do you trade the Asia market every night? Dart, sorry about the Bitcoin question. I didn't see you asking about Bitcoin. I'm not sure. I don't really follow crypto very much. That's what I like to trade to, is the MNQ. Death candle, come on. Clear up this candle right here. It doesn't look like it has a wick on it. Yeah, there's no wick on that candle. Clean it up. Clean it up. Five-minute flagging. Let me take this off so I can see. It's definitely got like a nice little range moving here. Hopefully we don't get tagged in and this thing just bounces. I mean, we're continuing making lower highs, so I'm hoping this is just the next leg down and we can make another low here, because we have a lot of wicks down there to the bottom side that we could clean up. It's a prop firm, MB. It's through Prodeus. I only trade evals right now during the Asia market because I'm fairly new to trading Asia. I've only been trading Asia consistently for about a month, a little over a month. I have traded it before, but this is the first time that I've ever done consistence. So we've been strictly doing eval all month. I'm hoping next month or by the end of the month, we'll have a funded account strictly just to trade on Asia market. And that hopefully will be this account. We're still, let's see, I want to say we are, let's see, we're about what, 470 away, or yeah, 470 away from passing. Yeah, so 470. And that's pretty tough to do that on the Asian market, where a lot, like most nights, man, most of my wins are like $50, $60. The main part, gas, is to, once you take that loss, usually once you take that loss, you just put the account away. It's like you might as just. I got two different accounts that we trade on. The other one, I'm up $500. Yeah, we're up 509 on it. So we still got a good ways to go with that one. So I've been just trying to put them away. If I take a loss, even if it's just 50, $60, just cut it, move on to the second account. So like if I take this trade and it fails, or if I take a loss, we will sign on to the next account, then just start fresh the next day. All right, we're about to be tagged in. Do we just go for the $40 and just call it? That's what I'm considering. All right, let's see if we can get one more push down to the 75s. Seems like we're just kind of staying in this area. I'm hoping this is just the next pullback. So this would be the top of the leg here, and we'll just take whatever happens here with this account and just be done with this account for the night. So we'll be in this account for roughly right at 10 points. So it would be roughly a $40 loss. I'm not sure because of all of this. We got so many wicks down in there. I just wasn't sure how much it would take us to get through this. This is why I like that bounce off of that 75 while ago. Oh, just the 70s. Man, I'm hoping so. That's what I'm looking for right now. See if we can get another retest of the run this wick. I'm hoping that this is the leg pullback here and we don't get any higher than what we are, above the 21 EMA here. So if you pull fib, you're hoping this is the 50% pullback. If I'm not mistaken, that is the 50%. Well, actually, the 50% is right there where my entry's at. What do we got? We still got about 2 minutes before a new 5-minute candle. Maybe we can tell a lot more on this next 5-minute candle. We'll get like a nice push to the downside. If we get down to that 80, if we even push remotely anywhere in this area, that we're going to go to break even. Sorry. Must be taking it hard with the fees, because that's only, I think it was from that last set of contracts where we were just getting hammered on fees. Dude, what worries me here is the ES in that 93 level. That's like support for ES. We bounced off that thing so many times today. That's how we even took most of our trades in the NASDAQ today, was off that 93. Come on, ES. How much? What size account are you trading, Gus? You said you're only $30 away from passing. Like how much? What was the size of your account? Did you say that back in the chat and I missed it? Oh, you're on funded ticks, 50K. Okay. Oh, you have five 50K funded. Okay. Are you trading a funded tonight, or is that eval you're trading? Oh, I don't recommend it at all. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. All my fundeds are with Apex and Bulinox. I think we have 4 or 5 with Apex, and no, we have 5 with Apex and 3 with Bulinox, because you only can have 3 funded accounts with Bulinox. So Apex, I was red $100 today, and Bulinox, I was green about $90 today. So it's kind of like a 50-50 on the fundeds today. And the eval, that was the one I was being super aggressive with, and I think we're up about 500 on the eval today. It was one of those 90% evals that I have to pass within a month before you get rebuild at 50%. So we were being kind of aggressive with it. I don't want to wait till the last week and have to like try to make a bunch of money on that. Yeah, I think that's the one I want to try next to, after either I pass some of these fundeds or, blow them up. I'm hoping pass them. But I either want to get elusive day trade or trade day or take profit trader. I want to get one of the ones that has like daily payouts. I need to go look over elusives, like all their rules and stuff. I haven't done that yet. I think I was looking for them another day, but I got sidetracked. Trade Desk. I don't know if I ever heard of Trade Desk. Oh, okay. Come on. Yeah, Trade Day. Trade Day is similar to a Take Profit Trader. So it is definitely expensive out the gate. It's I want to say it's like $100 up front. If you're good at passing accounts, it's okay to use those expensive ones. But if you struggle passing evals, I wouldn't really recommend the more expensive accounts. I would stick to whoever's the cheapest, just to, practice and get better at passing. So believe it or not, these accounts that I'm trading gas cost me $8. I got them when they were 90% off during Cyber Monday. They had a 90% deal running on Pedeus and got them for $8. So these are like $8 evals that that I'm learning to trade on the Asia market. No, Padaeus. Not Apex, Padaeus. They do have APEC rules. So if you get to $1,600, you can take 1,000 out. The old APEC rules. Activation is, I want to say 80. But if you do their other special, like I said, if you're good at passing evals, you can get but you have to trade small size with these accounts because I want to say for the 25K, but it's a static account. So you only get $500 of drawdown on the $500 accounts. So that's why you kind of have to start off with 1 and 2 micros to build that buffer. But the good thing about a static account is, once you're up $500 or $1,000, you got $1,500 of drawdown. But like I was going back to overall cost, is they have another account that they're usually 80% off, and it's $55 all in. I'm a gunslinger. That's a good one. It's like, nope. That's a good one with the gunslinger. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody refer to it as gunslinging. That's a good one. I have to use that phrase sometime down the road. So you're like slinging the finger and the mouse around. Oh my goodness, that's a good one. uh, That's been like the most honest reaction that anybody's ever said. Like, no, man, can't do that. I like to hammer the button. We like to smash the button. uh, so you're saying you're a little bit on the what is it, the degen side of the market, where you're just we got some streamers out there that straight up degen. They're just full porting the crap out of stuff. Oh, you do that in one trade, $500. I'd never risk $500 on a trade. The reason why I don't like doing that, because I know what'll happen if I lose. If I have a $500 red day, I'm going to revenge the trade. I'm going to revenge trade the crap out of that, because I'm like, man, I can't walk away with a $500 red day. So I'll be trying to get that back. I don't know if that gets you, or if that's what you're saying by, like, you get that big red day. Let me see if I can get this back on the next trade. One time I came from 1950 with a $2,000 drawdown. It ruined me. Oh yeah, it's kind of like there is a chance. It's like, what are you saying? Like 1 in a million chance? I mean, that's hard. $50 of drawdown. I don't even know how you even get a trade with $50 of drawdown, especially if you went in heavy. Usually, if I get that far down, I don't even want to try to get it out of drawdown. It's like, okay, it's like you're drawing and you just tear up the paper. Like, okay, I need to start over. That's what it feels like. Ooh, it's pretty good. I was watching a couple guys on a stream this morning. That's what they were doing. So they took their drawdown accounts during the CPI numbers and basically just went long and short, because they just had like very little drawdown left, and shoot, it got him back into uh positive with the CPI numbers this morning. Yeah, I've done that too. That's how I blew the last account that I got denied with the payout with the Apex, and I had to like trade another 8 days making $50, and I ended up blowing it. That was early last month in December. I knew that crap was gonna happen, dude. Yeah, I broke that 30% consistency rule. I think I let the I don't know if they said I over leverage or if I broke the consistency rule. I feel like I broke the consistency rule, that 30%. That is probably the one rule that, cuz every now and then you get stuck in trades. You don't mean to, but it just happens. And it's like you still know the trade's going to go up, but if you let it just come back into that 30%, whatever that number is, depending on the size of your account, it's a automatically deny. Oh, that's it. I like the market. I know. I've done. I know what you mean by that. You're still thinking, oh, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. It hits your target. It hits your your entry one last time, then just goes in the opposite direction and just wrecks you. Yeah, that happens probably to most of us here. I've been a lot better though about taking my losses and living with them though. That's probably the one thing that I feel like I wanted to start working on this year or even last month is if you take a loss, you'd be like, oh yeah, I tried to make I had the setup I wanted. It fell. Oh well, move on. Shut the count down. I've been working on that so hard lately, and I try not to let those red days affect me like they used to. Because I know a lot of us do it. I still get the urge to do it whenever I'm like, oh, I think I can get that back. Let me up the contracts here to 6 or 10, and I can get 5 or 10 points. I know there's almost all of us do that crap. Or full port. Yeah, we don't want to forget about the full port. Oh my goodness. I know you're like, F it, full port. Then you walk away extremely pissed off. The worst day to do that shit on is on a Friday. Like Friday, I try my hardest not to fail a count on Friday because there's nothing worse than spending freaking 2 straight days thinking about what you effed up on. That's you doing it on a Friday. That is the worst, man. It just ruins your weekend. The whole weekend's effed. All right, so far this leg is holding up for us. Thank you guys for the likes and follows today. What's up, Prince? How are you doing today? Yes, sir. This is the Tokyo market. It starts at 8 o'clock Eastern time. It usually goes from. I'm not sure what time the Tokyo market closes. I'm assuming maybe it closes sometime during the London session. So, what do markets usually run for 6 hours, 7 hours? Let's see. New York opens at 9:30 and closes at 3. So it's at 3.5 or 6.5. So 8 to 2:30. I'm assuming the Asia market closes at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, is it the 9 p.m. usually gets even slower? Yeah, I was only planning on actually trading till 9 o'clock, but I was hoping, I was really hoping that we could at least got a $20 or $30 little win on this last push right here, the one that missed us on that last one. Or if we have to, we'll just leave it on and walk away and go stare at the tablet for an hour or two before I fall asleep, then maybe we'll hit our entry. Right now we're like $26 in the red at the moment. I guess from the fees, that's where the negative $20 comes from. Let's see if we have any news tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow's a really good day of like, not that it wasn't a good moving day. It's more or less the starting out in the morning time. The last couple mornings have been tough. Do we got any news tonight? No. All right, we'll go to tomorrow. So we got existing home sales at 9. And okay, we got PPI numbers tomorrow. So a lot of news at 8:30 tomorrow or 7:30 my time. So, yeah, a lot of news this week. Yeah, if it does, we'll just accept our fake gas and just take our $40 loss and move on to tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow night. I don't usually trade these accounts in the New York session. So during the New York session, usually I'm on Ninja Trader. So Ninja Trader's right there. Dude, I cannot believe silver's $100. Is anybody here trading silver? That is just insane, man. Dude, someone has made a lot of money because silver was in that $20 range for a long time. A long time. I almost wish I had more. I got like 10 little silver 1 ounce coins that I got like a year or two ago. I think when I bought them, they were like worth like 300 or 400 bucks. Same here. I've never done that either. All right, so this is usually what the charts would look like during the daytime. So basically, what I got marked out here is I got the previous day high, the previous day open, close, and these are just some resistant areas marked out on the charts. So, so most of the time we're taking all of our trades on Ninja, and that's because sometimes I do copy trade, and this way because you only can have one Ripnik account open at one time, but if you sign up for a bunch of TradeOvate accounts and connect them to your Ninja charts, you can copy trade your TradeOvate accounts / your Ninja accounts. So this way you can copy trade multiple accounts. All right, so I'm not going to try to DCA out of this trade. We're just going to take our loss and probably just call it. I mean, we've already tested this 90 like at least 8 times in the last 30 minutes. Thanks for the follow, guys. If you guys are looking for a really good night to trade, Sunday nights is usually the best night to trade the Asian market. The Sunday nights always popping off. You'll easily almost get 50 to 100 points in the Asia market on a Sunday night. That's like my favorite time to trade the nighttime is on a Sunday. But I haven't really been streaming on Sundays, Sunday evenings. But I do trade it. So a lot of times I'm just like watching another streamer or something and trading the Asia. All right, so this is that opportunity probably to get out of this trade as a break-even trade here. And that opportunity that you were talking about a while ago, Gas, that is probably going to give me, but it's not going to continue down. It's like, oh, we're going to give you one opportunity to get out. You better get out. If not, you're going to be sorry. But I'm yeah, that's your warning. Yeah. I'm gonna take the other road. I'm just gonna go down swinging. We're gonna live with our $40 loss. I'm not gonna stress a $40 loss when, like I said, we got $1,500 in drawdown on this account, so we got plenty of drawdown. We can withstand a $50 loss. That's a good thing about a static account. Once you build that buffer, you shouldn't there should be no reason for me to fail this account. If I do, I'm gonna be so sad because I've worked so hard on this account this month. What's the other guy thing? All right, so we're about to get stopped out here, guys. So that'll, like I said, that'll just put us about right at $50 loss. Man, I don't see how this thing does not run it. This thing is sitting on freaking triple equal highs up here. What did the other trader think? I guess I'm not understanding the question, Gas. Unless you're asking somebody in the lobby that question. I don't know if you're asking me that. Oh, okay. All right, guys. So we got stopped out. So it's going to be a red day on our Pedeas account tonight. So we're going to be negative $54. So I'm going to be so annoyed if this thing freaking gets back above the 12 and goes. That's going to be insane. I'll be back in the morning at 8 o'clock or at 8:15. Are you still closing your trade down at 9 or the 900s? Need 60. That's still not bad. $60. I mean, unless you just want to hold the trade or look for another entry, that's still not too bad to need $60. Dude, this is gonna be insane if this thing drops after hitting the 900s after it stops me out. But that's okay. I know I still need to make another like four. So what do we still need to make? So basically, after that loss, that pushed us back down to 26,072. So we still need to make roughly about $430 to pass. Dude, that's gonna be insane if this thing blasts these 12, because that's been my long level tonight. That was my first entry up here. I was trying to long the 12s. We did push up to the 25s. I mean, I guess if you're looking for like a little 10-point trade, you would have been fine, but I was looking for a 25-point trade. I know. I'm not going to stay on here and wait for the upside. That's going to be it for me, gas. A lot of times, if I take my loss, it's just best to just take my small loss and move on to the next day. And this way, it kind of keeps you from blowing up your accounts. If you're one of, if you're struggle with blowing up accounts, if you can get used to just taking that one or two trade, and if you take your loss, it wasn't your night, just close down your account. Because that is something. You may tell you one of the worst things I used to do. I would have a really good trading session in the morning, and I would continue looking for trades. I would basically be over trading, looking for something in the lunch hour, and I would literally wipe out half my profits just from over trading. And now I don't even trade in the lunch hour. So I strictly use these ICT kill zones. So this way, if so once you start seeing this yellow, most of the time I do not trade when this turns yellow. And so that's your lunch hour. Even though we had decent movement during this lunch hour, if you go back to the left here, usually this is what the price action in the lunch hour usually looks like. It's just chop. So more chop. So this is why I don't ever trade during the lunch hour. Once that 10, 11 o'clock hits, chop. So more chop. This is why you don't trade during the lunch hour. So it looks like we had moves here, but like I said, most of your lunch hours look like this. So it's just best just to stay away from the lunch hour. It's almost like you just need to take your lunch break, come back where it has marked out your PM session, then look for like an entry out of the PM session. And this way you don't get stuck in a trade. I mean, this still had a little move, but it was just straight chopping for almost an hour here. Same here. See what I mean? It's just chopping sideways. So most of the time, Asia's your chopping. This is usually the Asia consolidates. Then the London session will manipulate. It'll pull usually back into the PM session. And then when we get to the New York session, we get that nicer move. Oh, that's gonna be so, dude. That's gonna be so annoying. I'm gonna look at the charts in a little while, and well, this is also what I was saying about the ES. It got above that. If you go and look at the ES charts, I don't know if anybody looks at the ES, but 93 is your major support on the ES. And then this is how we were taking entries this morning, because the NQ was so choppy that I didn't even care where the NQ or the NQ was. It was just based on the ES. I would literally watch the ES, and once we find support, I would just hit the buy button. So, especially if the ES and the NASDAQ are on the same kind of like path, they're both moving in the same direction, because usually the NQ follows the ES. I don't know if anybody ever notices that, because some of those markets follow each other. It's kind of like those FU candles that you got today. There was two of them. There was two FU candles from Nvidia and China. So whatever's going on between those two, I guess China is not wanting to use NVIDIA's chips no more. So this is where you're getting these. So somebody said this was NVIDIA, some type of NVIDIA news. And I know that's one thing that's going on between NVIDIA and China right now. And there was two of them today. So this was one. So that thing was what, 11 down to 46. So almost a 70-point move. And then it looks like you had one here too. So 13, almost another 75-point dump today. These were some FU candles right here, because if you didn't have like a stop loss or it just blowed your stop loss through because there was no orders to fill it, I mean, those candles there are just super devastating. Remember, we also had one of those, was it Friday we had one of those? I don't know if you guys remember that. Friday we had one of those. Was it this one? No, we had one of those somewhere. Oh well. All right, guys. Like I said, we're gonna call it there and walk away. So I need to walk away from charts. If not, I sit here and look at these things all night long. And we'll be back at I guess 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:15. We trade the New York session every day.